In a town steeped in routine, hope flickers like a candle in the wind, unstable and fleeting. An unannounced guest carries the promise of change, yet shadows of insecurity loom large. Could meeting this stranger be the catalyst that finally brings light to the darkness? In the heart of Liberty Falls, a quaint town surrounded by vibrant autumn foliage, the sun began to dip behind the majestic hills, casting a soft golden hue over the community center. This hub of activity buzzed with anticipation as families gathered for the annual charity event, an evening dedicated to uplifting, hardworking individuals facing financial woes. The scent of spiced cider wafted through the air, mingling with the laughter of children playing nearby, while colorful banners proclaimed messages of hope and unity. Sarah, a devoted mother in her late 30s, stood at the edge of the bustling room, her apron still clinging to her attire from her shift at the local diner. Stress lines framed her hazel eyes, reflecting years of balancing her job with the needs of her two young children. She carried the weight of the world on her shoulders, yet tried to mask her exhaustion with a warm smile. Her heart ached for connection, but the vibrant atmosphere felt like a distant wave she couldn't quite ride. Among the crowd, the striking presence of Ivanka Trump shimmered like a ray of possibility. Dressed in an elegant navy blazer, she radiated confidence and charisma, carefully navigating conversations with attendees while sharing her philanthropic vision. For Sarah, Ivanka represented an ideal, someone whose life seemed unburdened by trials. Yet as she watched, a hint of jealousy sparked within her heart, tinged with longing for a chance to feel seen and valued amidst her struggles. As the sun dipped behind the rolling hills of Liberty Falls, the town's community center buzzed with anticipation. The hum of conversation enveloped the gathering, a blend of laughter and whispers weaving through the air like a comforting embrace. A banner reading "Uplifting Families" hung above, each letter adorned with the colorful scribbles of children, symbolizing hope and renewal. Inside, the warm aroma of homemade dishes filled the space, mingling with the soft glow of string lights that crisscrossed above, casting a golden hue over the familiar faces of hardworking parents. In the midst of this vibrant atmosphere, Sarah stood slightly apart, cradling a plate in her hands. The smiles around her felt like daggers, each one a stark reminder of her struggles to keep her head above water while juggling the demands of her job and two restless children. Amidst the chatter, a snarky comment floated her way. A wealthy attendee casually lamenting the government's excessive handouts to families. The words knotted in Sarah's stomach, drawing her into a whirlpool of self-doubt. "Guess they just don't get it," she muttered under her breath. The pang of isolation struck deep. Just then, a voice broke through her reverie, smooth and confident. It was Ivanka Trump gliding into the room. As she began her speech, all eyes shifted, but Sarah's heart sank even lower, feeling like an outsider peering into a world where her struggles were but a distant echo. As the charity event at the Liberty Falls Community Center progressed, the contrast between Sarah's reality and the stories swirling around her felt sharper than ever. She stood by a table overflowing with donated goods, watching as mothers from more affluent families laughed, tossed compliments, and traded tales of their children's accomplishments. Each word seemed like a reminder of her own struggles, an invisible wall rising between her and their carefree banter. When the conversation pivoted to a recent government initiative to support low-income families, a sharp whisper pierced through the laughter, a dismissive comment that stung. "They're just looking for handouts. If they want better lives, they should work harder." Her heart raced, a tumultuous blend of anger and deep-seated helplessness coursing through her. Clenching her jaw, Sarah studied the blonde figure entering the room, Ivanka, radiating confidence. As the applause erupted, she felt a twist in her gut. Admiration clashed with resentment. Did this woman, who seemed to glide through life with ease, understand the insurmountable weight of juggling responsibilities, debt, and dreams dashed against a harsh reality? When the open mic opportunity arose, Sarah grappled with her thoughts, the urge to share her story battling with her fear of rejection. Finally, mustering the courage, she approached the mic, her voice trembling as she began to lay bare her struggles. She spoke of sleepless nights, overdue bills, and her desire for more for her children. But before she could finish, An enthusiastic mother from the front row interjected, "You should just be grateful for what you have." The remark landed like a slap, leaving Sarah ostracized and exposed under the harsh lights. As the crowd murmured, Sarah stepped back, the weight of humiliation suffocating her. She stole a glance at Ivanka, expecting aloofness, but instead found eyes brimming with understanding. The connection offered a flicker of hope, marred by the sharp vortex of her internal conflict. How could someone like Ivanka ever see value in her voice? She was left questioning not just the understanding of privilege, but whether she deserved this chance at all. As Sarah sat at her kitchen table, the weight of her circumstances pressed down upon her like an anchor. The room was dimly lit, a flickering light bulb casting shadows that danced along the walls, mirroring her turmoil. Her children, oblivious to the depths of her despair, clamored excitedly for dinner, their laughter striking starkly against the heavy silence that enveloped her thoughts. She pushed her cold plate of uneaten food aside, her heart sinking even further. It was just another reminder of her perceived failures. "Mom, can we go to the park tomorrow?" her youngest asked, innocence radiating from her wide eyes. "Maybe, sweetie," Sarah replied, forcing a smile that felt foreign on her face. The following day at the charity event, just days later, everything began to unravel. As Ivanka spoke to the crowd about the importance of community in uplifting one another, Sarah's heart raced, a mixture of admiration and envy coursing through her veins. The town hall, packed to the brim with enthusiastic supporters, felt suffocating. When the open mic commenced, a surge of determination washed over her. Of course, she would tell her story. So many others were willing to share theirs. Why not her? But just as she stepped forward, fingers trembling around the microphone, a chuckle erupted from a nearby table. "Here comes another sad tale," one wealthy attendee quipped loudly, his friends snickering in response. The laughter stung deeper than any blade. It was a reminder of her vulnerability, of the stigma she tried so hard to dispel. Suddenly, Ivanka appeared beside her, eyes filled with warmth yet laced with concern. "You have every right to be heard," she whispered, and for a fleeting moment, the world faded away. But just as quickly, Sarah's inner critic screamed at her. Could they really make a difference, this celebrity and this working mother? What if they don't care? She questioned, her voice barely a whisper, threads of doubt weaving through her thoughts. The room seemed to hold its breath, tension thick enough to slice through. Could one moment change everything? Would she accept the help of someone so seemingly different from her, or remain shackled to her insecurities? The community center buzzed with anticipation as Sarah stood on the stage, her heart racing like a drum in her chest. The gymnasium was filled with families, laughter intertwining with the aroma of fresh coffee, but the weight of their gazes felt like lead on her shoulders. Ivanka stood off to the side, a supportive presence radiating warmth, yet Sarah couldn't shake her insecurities. "Sarah, the floor is yours," Ivanka urged gently, but Sarah hesitated, her throat dry. "Why should they listen to me?" she whispered to herself, recalling the dismissive comments of privilege she had overheard just days earlier. The jab of inadequacy tightened around her. "And who am I truly to lead? I'm just a waitress and a single mother," she muttered, feeling the self-doubt envelop her. With a deep breath, she caught a glimpse of her children, their small faces filled with hope, and suddenly a fire ignited within. "You know what? Enough!" Sarah's voice rang out, slicing through the collected murmurs like a knife. The crowd turned, surprised. "I won't hide anymore," she cried, her voice gaining strength. "I'm tired of feeling small. We need to support each other. Mothers with dreams. This project isn't just mine, it's ours." A wave of emotion surged, igniting memories of sleepless nights, sacrificing her wants for her kids. Ivanka nodded, joining her at the forefront. "And I'm here to help," she added, her voice steady. "This is not about just money or influence. It's about uplifting our community." The room ignited with applause, a chorus of resonance for Sarah's newfound courage. As she faced the crowd, a realization dawned. Her voice mattered, her struggles resonated. The turning point was palpable. She felt the spark of change sweeping through her as bonds of support formed, tighter than ever before. With Ivanka beside her, Sarah stepped into a new dawn, one filled with hope and the promise of possibility. As the sun set over Liberty Falls, casting a golden hue over the community center, Sarah reflected on the journey she had undertaken. The flourishing project had forged unbreakable bonds among mothers, and the laughter of children echoed as they played nearby, a testament to the warmth of newfound unity. Ivanka's visit, laden with encouragement and shared success stories, underscored the power of collaboration, showing that even disparate backgrounds can merge towards a common goal. Sarah now stood taller, her eyes gleaming with hope, as she was no longer just a struggling mother, but a beacon of resilience for her peers. She recalled the shame of feeling invisible, now transformed into a commitment to help others find their voices. The message she cherished resonated deeply. Everyone's story mattered. Together they could confront the challenges life presented. As the night fell, Sarah's heart swelled with gratitude. She had found not only her strength, but an empowering community that believed in one another, illuminating what it truly means to lift each other up.